Okay, we're on to the last three problems of chapter 8. I'm going to do problems 14, 16, and 17. That's the goal here. Looking at 14, this is another one I'm not real crazy about because I'm not sure I understand the language, but let's see if I can help through it. This is chapter 8, problem 14. What it's asking for is when you use the translation method, or it's asking actually which translation method maintains the underlying valuation used in the foreign currency financial statements. So I think the key there is what maintains the underlying valuation. And in that case, you'd have to say it's the temporal method because it has a reversion in many assets to the historical rate. So it's maintaining the underlying valuation as opposed to translating it to the current rates for fixed assets, for assets that are non-monetary. If you read the chapter a little bit, you would see that the differences between the temporal and the current rate method, the ones that are historical versus not historical, are the non-monetary assets. That's really the key of what's going on there. So maintaining the underlying original valuation is, I think, how answer C becomes the correct answer for 14. Number 16 is the next to last one, so we're almost done with this torture. Number 16 is asking which of the following items is not remeasured, and remeasured refers to the temporal method, and of course it then tells us the temporal method. In that case, it's C, marketable equitable securities, is not remeasured because it's held in the current spot rate exchange, so it's not remeasured, so quote unquote. All right, so C becomes the answer to 16, and then that leaves 17 in accordance with U.S. GAAP. Which translation combination is appropriate for a foreign operation whose functional currency is the U.S. dollar? This is like a really, and all these have been CPA exam level questions, but this is like a typical one, which you'll see if you do a review courses. This is where why I picked the ones that I picked. I think I saw this one actually in a BISC book. I think that's who put it out. At any rate, in accordance with U.S. generally accepted accounting principles, which translation combination is appropriate? And what they really want you to know in this case, for foreign, where the functional currency is the U.S. dollar, they want you to know that that means that if the functional currency is U.S. dollar, then you're using that temporal or remeasurement process. So you look at that column, and then you would see that the correct method is temporal. So that knocks out C and D as being incorrect. Then you got to know, well, what does that mean in terms of where does the gain and loss go? And if you'll recall from the video where I went over Chapter 8 as a summary, that the temporal method first starts with the balance sheet and then goes to the income statement and plugs what we need to balance everything out on the income statement so the gain or loss actually hits net income. Theory being that the parent controls, so let the consolidated parent, show the gain or loss actually in their consolidated net income, which is then answer B. And we're finally done with this torture, and which leaves the next torture, partnerships, to be continued probably Saturday night.